Happy birthday, Tinker Uncle. I'm going to try to make concise all the wonderful experiences that I've had with Tinker Uncle. There's many, but I'm just gonna try to bring it down for the sake of time to just a few. I met Tinker Uncle in 2009, I believe, through my husband. He had the fortune to meet a devotee at his job, Tulsi Ramji. And at that time, me and my husband were going through a difficult time. And my husband suggested, why don't you come to the satsang? I've been coming and I really enjoyed. I said, sure. And I came, and the one thing that, I was stricken by in the satsang is that, I'm not Indian, right? So through being married with my husband 10 years now, I'm used to being around, Indian people, and I don't know the language, and I just try to find my way and be of help and stuff, and catch words to understand what's being said. But the difference that I experienced in the satsang was that the grace in which everyone, greeted and spoke. And even though I didn't know who Tinker Uncle was, and then my husband told me right away, he's like, Tinker Uncle made this vow, you don't touch. And I was like, oh my gosh, okay. I will stay very far away because I didn't have the confidence in myself. I'm said with my luck, I will trip and fall, and I will break the vow, and I will be cursed for 7 more lives. So my husband said, go and talk, to Tinker Uncle. And I was like, I don't know what to say. He's so amazing. I'm sure just looking at him, he's so full of grace. Little low me. I have so much ego. I'll pollute the environment with all my ego. To just stay away and try to do and be of help, And the thing is that I have gotten to know Tinker Uncle because I have this utmost respect for him, because I've seen the change in my husband through his association with Tinker Uncle on the satsang. I have the utmost respect, so I've always had this distance because I don't know what to say. I don't want to say the wrong thing or offend. Maybe I won't, because I know a little bit of experience that I have in Indian community. There's formalities in the way that you greet each other, and now I thought, oh, this is a different culture. This is Gujarati culture, so there's different things. It's not just general Indian. There's different things according to what part of India you're from. So I always kept a distance, but I have gotten to know Tinker Uncle through his devotees, because I would think to myself while we were driving back home after satsang, I'm like, these people all love Tinker Uncle, and the way they behave through their love for him, the way they behave is so amazing. So I'm like, he's invested this much time, over 20 years of devoting his time and patience and love, and he's been imbibing all that love into all the devotees. And I'm like, this is something amazing right here, for someone to put that much time and attention and patience and listening to people's problems. And I had an experience with that where Tinker Uncle devoted a big chunk of his precious time for me and my husband. He would help us out. He would give us counseling. And just time and time again, watching him patiently listen and flip things around. When we were stuck in seeing something a certain way, he'd flip it around and go, well, actually, that's really good, because look at it from this one. I'd be like, wow, you just flipped that around. How did you just flip it? Wow, that was so easy. How did you? And then through coming through satsang, I have an understanding now I didn't have before. I have a long way to go. But the little bit I understand now is that, I know about in the past, before I had my son, I used to exercise a lot, and the way I see it is that Tinker Uncle and the lineage behind him on which he stands. They have been doing, lifts and exercise internally, and that's so much harder. It's easy to, for a while before I came to satsang, I always was interested in self-development, and I'd read these books and read about techniques. And so like if you're communicating with something, this is how the way that you say it to, increase communication and everything else. And it's all outward, you follow instructions. Repeatedly, in different situations, see the good. So much internal strength, and I'm inspired. If by the things he says are so simple to me. Do dun, do night prayer, and I don't know. I don't know the words, the vocabulary, because I know that from the Vachanamrut there's very specific words that describe spiritual attributes and things. I don't know the word for it, but I learned it here, the ability to recall loving memories, smruti, from your experiences with devotees and all the saints, to recall those memories. And I'm like, that's, and in trying to apply it myself, I have, wow, like, wow, how does it, okay, so let's just say I'm with my family. My family is, they're lovely people. They're not, in my spiritual interests in my life, they have no interest, They love me, but not my interests. And so, or the things that I follow. So sometimes, there's things that, my ego comes up, and I have to take a breath, and I've remembered what Dinkranko said about not looking at the bad and picking out the good. And it's amazing the way it's flipped things around. It takes effort on the inside to do that. But the results, I remember once I was on the kitchen table, my dad across from me, and he was saying something, and the conversation started getting tense between him and my sister, and my sister's younger than me. She's 9 years younger than me. So the conversation was getting tense, and I was starting to feel tense, and I'm just sitting there. So I remembered something my dad did. He potted some flowers outside the house, and I was like, there was like a few seconds of silence in the conversation. So I went in there and went, Dad, those potted plants in the front, you did a really good job. Those flowers are really pretty. And I was like, they're just blooming. Like, you have such a good green thumb. Like, everything you touch is just grows and grows and grows. I have to learn that from you. And then he said, oh, this minute of confused look on his face. Like, yeah, I got them from, Menards, and the conversation changed. But when you're feeling that tense inside, it's not the first instinct to look for the good. And that's, I know it's from so much ego I have to work on myself, but I'm inspired through Dinkrunk and all the devotees here too, that it's something that can be worked on. We have the instructions, they're very simple and they're laid out, and they keep on being repeated day after day, Sabha after Sabha, to remind us, do dun, be of service, look at the good. I've had amazing experiences with all the devotees, the children, particularly now that I have a son, and just seeing him interact with the children here. They're leaders, they really are. I go to the park, and it's not a coincidence, that the kids that I see from Sabha, they see Aryan and they want to come and play with him. And I see the way they interact with the kids around them, and the kids around them follow the kids here from the Sabha. They take direction. And it's not because the kids are imposing direction. They're just naturally just playing around being who they are. And kids look for direction for the kids from Sabha here. And I'm like, that's Dinkranko right there. So, I could say so much more. I always feel like I don't feel like I deserve enough to be here. It's been amazing for me in my marriage and in my own family, applying Dinker Uncle's principles. And I pray for the strength and the smruti to continue growing and getting rid of all my ego. So Jai Swaminarayan, Dinker Uncle, happy birthday.